Our second example is number 6. The square root of 2x plus 5 plus the square root of 3 minus x equals 4. So let's isolate the square root of 2x plus 5. The square root of 2x plus 5 equals 4 minus the square root of 3 minus x. Now let's square to get rid of the radical. Let's square both sides. So on the left side, the radical is gone. So we obtain 2x plus 5. On the right side, we multiply 4 minus the square root of 3 minus x times itself. The result from that is going to be as follows. 16 minus 8, the square root of 3 minus x, plus 3 minus x. This will be the result, and you can pause the video and check for yourself. If there are some like term combination here, 16 and 3 is 19, so let's do that. Just write 19. Since we still have a radical, we need to isolate it to get rid of it. So let's get rid of 19. Let's get rid of minus x. So to get rid of 19, subtract 19 on both sides. To get rid of minus x, add x on both sides. So now we have 3x minus 14 equals to negative 8 times the square root of 3 minus x. This time I don't want to divide by negative 8 because that leads to fractions. It is possible to just get rid of the square root by squaring both sides right now. So let's see that. Square both sides. Carefully do your arithmetic. So here we get, when we multiply 3x minus 14 times itself, we will get 9x squared minus 84x plus 196. You can pause the video, do the algebra. This will be the result. On the right side, when we square negative 8, we get 64. And when we square the square root of 3 minus x, the square root is cancelled. So we obtain 3 minus x. Okay, now we are ready for our next step. We have to solve this resulting quadratic equation. So we want one side to be 0. Before doing that, let's distribute. So that's 4 times 3 is 12. Carry 1. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1, 19. So it's 192 minus 64 times x, which is 64x. So I want to make that side 0, so I'm going to subtract 192 on both sides, and I am going to add 64x on both sides. So subtract 192 on both sides. Add 64x on both sides. Right side is now 0. On the left, we have 9x squared minus 20x. Negative 84 plus 64. The answer is negative. The difference between 84 and 64 is 20. So it's negative 20x. And then 196 minus 192 is 4. Okay, now we want to solve this quadratic equation. Our first try should be factoring. Can we try factoring here? So in this case, we should use the grouping method because of this coefficient. The coefficient of x squared is 9, is not 1, so we should try the grouping method, the AC method. So we multiply 8 times c, 9 times 4, which is 36. Now we intend to write 36 as the product of two factors whose sum will be the middle coefficient. As it turns out, that's negative 2 times negative 18. Observe, negative times negative is positive, 2 times 18 is 36. When you combine, when you add negative 2 and negative 18, you get negative 20. So now we're going to split the middle term. Let's do that here in the middle. So we're going to erase the middle to be able to do the work. Okay, so we're splitting the middle term. We're going to write it as negative 2x minus 18x. The reason for that is because we want to try factoring by grouping. That's how this method works, of course. So factor by grouping now. So in the first group, we can factor out an x. We're left with 9x minus 2. In our second group, let's factor the minus and a 2, minus 2. Then we're left with 9x minus 2. Check. Negative 2 times 9x is negative 18x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Observe that we obtained our common factor, 9x minus 2. So we factor it out. After we factor out 9x minus 2, we're left with x minus 2. Okay, so now we are going to get two solutions out of this. Our first solution is a fractional solution, which happens to be 2 over 9. How do we get 2 over 9? Well, 9x minus 2 equals 0. So when you add 2, you get 9x equals 2. So x equals 2 over 9. That's one solution to our quadratic equation. The other solution is x equals 2. Okay, now we need to check. We need to take each of these values, plug them into the original equation to see if they satisfy the original equation. Let's try x equals 2 over 9. It's going to be a little bit tedious because of the fact that that is a fraction, but patience and care should let us do fine. So let's check. X equals 9 over 2. I'm checking that against the original equation. So I'm going to get rid of everything else. Okay, so left hand side is the square root of 2 times 2 over 9 plus 5 plus the square root of 3 minus 2 over 9. Okay, arithmetic inside the radicals has to be done first. So what's the result of 2 times 2 over 9 plus 5? Well, that is going to be 4 over 9, because 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5. Now, I need to write 5 as a fraction with denominator 9. So I'm going to multiply by 9 over 9. 5 times 9 is 45. And you have denominator 9. Okay, in our next step, we will add these two. So you end up with 49, square root of 49 over 9. Okay, let's go and deal with the second term. Plus, okay, here we're subtracting 2 9s from 3. I need fractions to have same denominator, so I'm going to make 3 a fraction whose denominator is 9. So I multiply by 9 over 9. 9 times 3 becomes 27. Now over 9. Minus 2 over 9. The result from that is 25 over 9, because 27 minus 2 is 25. Now, the result. The square root of 49 in the numerator is 7. The square root of 9 in the denominator is 3. Plus, the square root of 25 in the numerator is 5 over the square root of 9 in the denominator is 3. So we're adding 7 over 3 plus 5 over 3, which is 12 over 3. The final result is 4. So the left hand side, when x equals 2 over 9, turns out to be 4. Observe that that is the same as the right hand side. So when x equals 2 over 9, my equation is satisfied. So I conclude that x equals 2 over 9 is a solution of my equation. Okay. Now the other solution we obtained, recall, was 2. 2 is easy to check, or it is simpler to check than 2 over 9. Let's quickly do that by inspection. So when x equals 2, our first radical is going to be the square root of 9, because 2 times 2 is 4 plus 5 is 9. So that's the square root of 9 plus the square root of 1, because 3 minus 2 is 1. So the square root of 9, so when x equals 2, left hand side is the square root of 9 plus the square root of 1, which is 3 plus 1, which is 4, which is the same as the right hand side. So we conclude that x equals 2 is also a solution. Okay, so in summary, here is what we have obtained. The solution set of our equation is the set that contains the values 2 over 9, much. Okay, so our examples have been completed. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching.